So it sounds like community is very important to this. If somebody's new to wanting to learn more about this, how do you recommend they go about finding that community?
It's really about finding kind of your niche. Like if you are looking to be in a kink community, there's plenty of kink communities on Facebook and on Tinder. You can kind of just like search hashtags on Tinder, or not Tinder, Twitter. Fuck.
Yeah, I was going to say, FetLife is another specific.
Yeah, but FetLife.
I knew you were going to say it because
I fucking
say
have
it, please.
so many issues with FetLife. First of all, that website looks like it was made in 1992.
It probably was.
On a
I've heard of it.
fucking website.
I've heard of it way back in the day.
But they haven't updated it. Like it's 2020 and it still looks like it's from 3 fucking decades ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, it
looks like
bad.
it was from baby internet times. Yeah. And on top of that, so unfortunately there is a rampant amount of racism on FetLife, which is really fucking frustrating because obviously as like people of color, we are kinky too and we want to engage in this kinky space. But like it's really hard to want to engage in a space that you know is already very racist off the top, where it's like, oh, cool. So people are just either fetishizing me for the color of my skin or ignoring me. Where I created a profile and like I stated very explicitly, I'm exclusively a dom. Like I don't sub. Let me reiterate, I am not a sub in any capacity. And if you're looking for a sub, look fucking elsewhere. It's not me. And I like stated this like 3 or 4 different times on my profile, and guys will still hit me up. Hey, so I'm a dom. You want to be my sub? And I'm like, ew, gross. No. Yeah. What part of like you didn't even read my fucking profile because no part of like not even the pictures in my profile would hint to me being a sub. And yet you just see that I have tits and assume that I'm going to sub for you, which is just gross. But also like the fact that like the way it's organized, it's actually kind of difficult to like filter things the way that you want to filter things. It just feels very messy.
Yeah, it's not the most user-friendly platform. And like you said, it is very like it's rampant with racism. And I think the other thing with that as well is race play in itself is considered a kink.
Right.
So it's almost acceptable.
Not a kink I personally like or approve of, but like
exactly. So it's the same, but it's almost seen as acceptable, and I think that's where that grey area is what is consensual and respectful, and still within the boundaries, and what is purely discrimination, hidden as fetishization.
So how do you navigate these platforms to find the good communities?
Ironically, on FetLife, there are a lot of links to pretty decent like munches and pretty decent events.
What are munches?
They're kink events, but like they're like kink meet and greet kind of events where you're not really getting kinky at the event. You're usually like in normal clothes, like after work kind of attire.
It's kind of a funny word. Munches?
Yeah.
Is that
munches.
like you're munching on stuff you're eating? What is it?
Sometimes to have a little munch and brunch.
To jump onto what you said as well, I think when we say kink events, people immediately think it's sexual.
Right.
But it's like a meetup. You would meet up with people who have a similar mindset, similar interest. And, you know, we have, so in the UK, for example, you said like, where do you find? We have like a leather social. So people meet up once a month on the first Sunday of every month. And we go to a dedicated pub that know that we are there as well. So it builds in that safety element as well. So they know that there's going to be a herd of people in leather coming and rocking up to the bar.
Right. And it's like, not just like a biker gang or something. No, it's like, these are the leather daddies.
Yeah, there's no Harley Davidsons. We've all got on the tube and we've all got into the city. And you know, like you were saying as well, like when you become more niched, there's a rope social that I go to. So that is specifically, the structure of that is a workshop. It's there for people to have a safe space to come in and practice rope on each other, but also have experienced people on hand as a peer session to check in with, ask questions, learn from. And these are people who really understood that culture deeply to go, actually, there is a place for events that are sexual specifically. But there's also a space for people to just come and learn and feel a part of the community and feel safe. And so I think to find those, mainly for me, it's been word of mouth. So I've had people say, hey, look, I'm a rigger, you're a rigger. I go to this thing, do you want to come with me? And that's how it started for me. So it was word of mouth because, you know, you're so specific that someone else who's as specific as you can recommend something that will be right up your alley.
Right. Because like realistically, and I mean, obviously there's going to be exceptions, but for the most part, everyone has at least one person in their life that they would consider their quote unquote wild friend or their kinky friend or their friend that's into like kind of unusual things, like, oh, like they get up to some stuff. Blush, 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 right? And
why am I looking at you thinking that, Viv, you're that friend?
Okay, no, I actually am 100% that friend for most
Maybe
people.
that's why you think everybody has a friend like that, because everybody you know does, because you're that person.
Hey,
but
look.
I just want to point out that isn't necessarily true.
Okay, well, you have that friend, so fuck off.
Before I met you, I didn't, though.
Well, that sounds like an unfortunate lifestyle.
But you know, the point is that not everybody does have access to that.
No, I bet you fucking did. You probably just didn't realize it because like that friend hadn't been as open with you about it.
You really overestimate the number of friends that I have. I'm just going to point that out. But the point
sounds
is
like
that people may not always have access to somebody in their life, and they need to then start getting a foot in the door before they can get, you know.
Sure. I'm saying like if you have that one friend in your life that like maybe goes to like a sex toy like purchasing party or like does like
sex toy purchasing
like pure romance where like it's like the Avon lady for sex toys.
Oh my god.
So that's like one way to like start meeting people. There's also like, again, you can check online, like there's different hashtags you can look through if you're looking through Twitter or Instagram and finding people and like just reaching out to people in your area. So like if you're on Instagram and you start following someone and like you're following a like more kink related profile, you might be able to reach out to that person, slide in their DMs. Hey, I really like your profile. I really like the stuff you're putting up. Do you know of any events that like I might be able to go to? I'm in this area. It seems like you might be like in the same city as me.
Or just more general, what can you, how can I learn more? What can you recommend? So actually reaching out to people on social media is a viable way of doing it as long as you're not acting creepy.
Yeah, like, I mean, don't like be like, hey, I saw you on social. Want to hook up sometime? No, that's not, that's not the vibe.
No, I was just saying, like, for me in person is better for asking those questions because I'm like, hey, is there something that's off my radar? Have I missed a trick? Are there things that you're going to that you could recommend or see me enjoying? You know, those are the types of questions that you want to start probing with. So,
right, because like it could be something as easy as just like a meet and greet of like a singles meet and greet kind of a thing, and even if it's the most vanilla singles meet and greet, there's probably somebody there that's not that vanilla. And
right. So to go back to John's point, they're like, and trust me, you will always have a kinky friend, and it is literally about how visible they want to be, how vocal they want to be, how honest they want to be. And I think
I'm
it's
just
really
very
good
visible.
to touch. But I think it's good to touch on this point about like shame in general, like where sex is such a historically such a taboo subject, especially like, you know, as an English culture, we just don't talk about it because it's not the right thing to do.
Right.
But,
you just gotta lay back and think of England.
Yeah. So like it's really important, and I think as well, like with the age of the internet and you know, we're opening up that queer umbrella to look at all these different types of sexualities and sexual preferences and how we want to present and how we want to be addressed, and that is now being normal. If that is being normalized in mainstream culture, it's only a matter of, and I think now you see, and this is what I mean about like having visible role models as well. You can't be what you can't see. So if I can't see someone like me doing what I'm doing, how am I ever going to be emulating that person or wanting to be like that person or wanting to grow and do what that person's doing? So I think it's super important that, you know, like we have friends like you and I who are just like, yeah, of course I like Kink, you know. And I think it's really interesting. I think when I came, it's like coming out again. It's like, oh, by the way, like I'm kinky, and it's like, oh my god. I post.
I'm gonna throw a party.
yeah. Oh god, don't. So I posted one of my ties on my personal Instagram. And again, at the time, I was thinking like, God, this is a bit of a brave move because loads of my Instagram pics are like, you know, cakes and food and traveling and and then there was this one tie. It's in the pics that I've sent. There's one tie that I did, and I was so proud of it. And I was like, do you know what? I feel like I want people to know. Not in like a broadcast way, but I just want it to be normalized. Like, why is that so bad? You know, why is that like, why am I a bad person? You know, that's the kind of the initial kind
why
of
am I a
response
deviant in quotes?
Yeah, exactly. Because kink is like deviant, right? Kink is like a kink in the, so you're different.
Right.
And I remember
you're not just doing missionary, so therefore you're a deviant.
So that post itself, it went, normally my posts were like 100 likes or something. That got 800 likes in a couple of...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that completely went crazy. And then I had friends saying like, oh my God, is Harry okay? Like, is he okay? And I was like, I've never been better, mate. So do you know what I mean? It's just, and I think...
It's like, I'm fine.
And again, as I started braving that conversation or breaching that conversation, I then had people say, oh my God, like I am too, but I don't know where to start. And I've never thought about it. And I don't want to, and you know, the moment you're stepping into your truth and your your truth, you're then allowing people to stand up and say, oh, actually, I'm like that as well. I needed someone to say it first.
Thanks for checking out this clip from our show.
To watch more clips or full episodes, click on our profile below.
If you want to stay up to date on all of our new episodes and videos, click subscribe.
And if you have any ideas for future guests or topics that you would like to see us cover on the show,
leave us a message in the comments or connect with us on any of our social media channels at Funtime Program.
Or on our website at funtimeprogram.com.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.